Hi folks, it's Kat here. I've just come from Silverstone. We've gone to look at the Silverstone Museum and watched a race at the track, which was fantastic. And on the way home, we've popped into Lillingstone, Dayrell. And here we've got the most beautiful 15th century brass, late 15th century brass, with a fantastic butterfly hen in. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to have a quick look at her. Here we are looking at these wonderful pair of brasses. Look at the details, which we'll go into in a minute. I'm just reading the records while we look at the brass here. We've got Paul Dayrell, an ancient family spelt as Dayrell, or Dayrell, and it is said to derive the name from the air in Normandy in Provence. The name is in the role of Battle Abbey as the followers of the Norman conquerors, and the family were the earliest landowners. The manor of Lillingstone continues in the Dayrell family. Aren't they wonderful? So this is Paul Dayrell and Margaret Dayrell. So here we are, look at her headdress. We have some information here about the headdress, which says the headdress is typical of the period, and this is 1491. It says the hair is taken back from the forehead. Yes, I agree, but it is not on the drawing of the church, which is there. It looks like she has no hair and she's completely shaven. But what's nice on our brass is you can actually see her hair depicted. So it says the hair is taken back to the forehead in nets. Yeah, I agree that the hair is taken back, but I don't agree that it is taken back in nets. We've definitely got a fretwork there of something, but we've definitely got some form of structure underneath. It's not in an actual net or a hairnet. It is a structured, truncated form here. So that's what I think anyway. And it rests on a large framework of wire. I think that's probably the wire coming out the back, whether they've got wire at the back of the actual fretwork here. That's what it's saying in the church records, but I actually think the whole structure is an actual structure in itself, very much like a mitre, probably why it's called a mitre headdress sometimes in some depictions, but that's really, really nice. And I love the fact that you can see her hair, and I love the fact that you can see the wires and the etchings for the depth to show either a fold or another layer of veiling over the top, which is really, really nice. She's a beauty. The church information also says it no doubt looks attractive, but it looks clumsy when drawn on brass, and the head is shown in a three-quarter pose, especially to display the headdress. We can see her hair, which is really, really nice, so everything wasn't fully placked to the point where her forehead was going as far back as the ears, is what a lot of people say. Then we've got a lovely curved bit here, and then we've got the wires coming out the back, and then we've got the lovely drape of the actual veil over the top. That's beautiful. Ears as well, we've got probably a lovely sheer partlet, or even in some colour depictions, we've got a black partlet, and then we've actually got the fur here with beautiful big cuffs. I love that. Cuffs, I love cuffs. And as we can see, we've got a lovely tight fitting arm here. Can't see much of her belt. And then what we have here is her dress folds, I think folded up. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful dress here, and we've got a lovely fur hem because her dress is picked up. We can see the fur here depicted as etchings on the brass to show that it's fur lined, probably clipped fur, and it goes all the way around here, which is lovely. Bit of a train, which is nice. And then we can see her undergown here etched with lots of folds showing fullness, and we've got a beautiful, sweet depiction of her pointed shoe there. Absolutely lovely. Lovely late 15th century depiction of a wonderful medieval lady. And for the boys, we'll just whiz across and we'll have a look at his lordship, Paul. Beautiful details on his armour. You can see his helm up here behind his head. Got beautiful details here, all the fluting, mail, and coming down here, no gauntlets. And then we've got more here, lovely male depictions here. These are tassets, I might be wrong. We've got a lovely depiction of the sword here, and I think that might be his gauntlets tucked in over the sword handle there. And then we go down to his legs. That's the end of his sword. Beautiful depiction of the legs. Look at those lovely knees with the Gothic armour. Wonderful. Going down towards the feet. And we have a lovely depiction. Look at these articulated toes. Really wonderful. Tiny, slim ankles. And then we've got a lovely depiction here of a lion. And we can see his name here, Paulus, Dayrell, and Margaret. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? I just found copies of the beautiful medieval 15th century, late 15th century brass. Look at these copies. They were underneath huge information boards about the church, hidden from view. So these ones are probably being made so people could do brass rubbings on them. So the actual original medieval brass would remain undamaged. So there is Paul. And here we have, hidden from view from another information board, Margaret. Lots of the details have been lost though from this actual copy. It's still really nice to see, especially if you're doing a rubbing. And go in, you can see her headdress there. That's really nice. I love the details. I love her cuffs. Well worth visiting. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.